How does a type 1 diabetic eat 1,200 calories a day and gain weight based on what their nutritionist told them, but eats over 2,000 calories a day based on what I told them and still loses weight and then gets good and pissed off at her nutritionist, rightfully so?
Let's go!
We knew this was going to happen. We knew after the holidays that people were going to come in and say, oh, I fucked up, because that's what happens with people on the holidays.
Well, and that's what happens to people in and around the holidays or any special occasion circumstance where they're operating on old, outdated, erroneous information. Do you know what I mean? The entire time, when I started gaining weight as early as I did, and then when I finally figured out how to lose it, that period of time was all based around the eat too much, move too little model. And that's what everybody has tried again and again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And the problem is, every time they fail it, or every time it doesn't work, or they gain the weight back or whatever, they're not recognizing that it's not because of how many calories they were eating, it's because of what kind of calories they were eating. So it's hard to deprogram them. When they're in my office and I'm sitting right in front of them and I'm talking to them, they totally get it. Like, they totally get it.
Yeah.
And then they go home, and 2 or 3 or 4 days or whatever passes by, they didn't necessarily write it down, or they didn't know to write it down, or I sent them an email about it and they missed it, or they didn't click on whatever the issue is, and it leaves their head, and they revert back to that old programming, which is, if I have a bite of this, it won't matter because it's only 20 calories of chocolate, or it's only a handful of potato chips.
Little decisions we make, like picking up a treat instead of being disciplined and making our health and body more important than a brief moment of satisfaction. One drink won't hurt, right? One treat won't hurt, right? Listen, but it does. It stops us from reaching our full potential.
What we're trying to teach them is, whether you're eating a handful of chips or 20 calories of chocolate, it is a hormonal reaction. You are giving your body a signal to stop burning fat. And in your case, if you're extra weight, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours after eating a stupid handful of potato chips or a hot dog and a beer, because that's what we always do when we go to the ball game. Well, that might be what you always do when you go to the ball game, and if you're certainly happy with 6 hours of not losing any fat while you sit there and watch the ball game, if that compromise is okay for you, then do it. But people should at least get to know the compromise they're making before they put the crap in their mouth. We weren't seeing type 2 diabetes until mid-40s or mid-50s, and now I've got a 29-year-old who's classified as a type 2 diabetic. Here's what he doesn't know. He was technically diabetic. Oh, and he was told 2 years ago that he was pre-diabetic and or either didn't do anything about it, or applied regular typical knowledge that's out there and it didn't work. And so now it's 2 years later, he's 29, he's type 2 diabetic, he also has a cardiovascular problem because he's on high blood pressure medication. He's not even 30 years old. That's horrifying. The reason I charge the price that I charge is because I've got to deprogram all that crap that you've been taught. I've got to get in there, find out what your metabolic issues are. I've got to create a specific program to correct it, and then I've got to try to teach it to you. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to learn it, because you're going to make up your own mind whether or not you're going to learn it or not, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to try to help you as much as I can, but I can't possess your body and make you do it. And I think the only way people are going to really figure it out and do it is they need that information.
Well, it's kind of sad because you either pay all this money and you get healthy, or you don't pay the money and then you're going to die at an early age.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. You're either going to pay for the specialized knowledge before it happens, or you're going to pay for the specialized knowledge to reverse whatever crap's going on, or what are you going to pay when the shit hits the fan? What are you going to pay when the heart attack happens? What are you going to pay when the diabetes is taking away your eyesight or making your foot black and they're going to have to cut it off? Is it worth it then? If you could find out now how to change it, what's causing it, and how to reverse it now before that happens, is it worth whatever my cost of my program is?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, you say that, but you don't have a black foot and you don't have...
I don't want a black foot.
Right. Or if you could find out how Sarah can eat, didn't you say what, up to 3,000 calories?
I mean, like Yeah.
How did Sarah eat almost 3,000 calories in a day over Christmas and not gain anything? And stay in her 2-pound window? How the hell did she do that?
A magic.
Right? But somebody else eats less than that and gains. How does a type 1 diabetic eat 1,200 calories a day and gain weight based on what their nutritionist told them, but eats over 2,000 calories a day based on what I told them and still loses weight and then gets good and pissed off at her nutritionist, rightfully so? Because I'm teaching them how to actually fix the root of the problem. That's right. And in my mind, that's worth something.
Good morning, YouTubers. It is day 2, and I am down another pound, which means I am officially where I was before I started retrain. So while I haven't lost any weight on this round of reduce, hold on, ooh, there we go. I am gonna have a successful reduce session because I did so well on retrain and I gained those pounds. So again, if you learned anything from my last video, it's not to be afraid to gain that weight during retrain. Gaining weight is okay on retrain. Let's all say it together. I will not be afraid to gain weight on retrain. Got that in your brain? Good. Again, I just got to work. I have my meals here for breakfast and lunch. I'm having green beans for breakfast, and that's highly unusual for me, but I don't have stuff I would normally have for breakfast. Plus I'm having some, it's not like I can make an omelet or anything today. So lesson here is time and time again, I hear people say, I don't like vegetables for breakfast. And so what do? You just leave it out. No, 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 no. Time and time again, I tell you guys, we put you on the lowest amount of calories your body can handle. Not my body, someone else's body. Your body can handle the lowest amount. We've calculated all that for you. So by leaving just even vegetables out, which doesn't seem like a big deal, your body's gonna go into starvation mode, and then again, we're gonna slow down reduce. So again, why my reduce is probably better than yours? I eat all of my categories of food at every meal. I don't skip meals. I don't leave anything out. I don't add anything extra. Follow the program to a T, 100%. So, I need to turn on this Keurig because it takes forever to warm up, and I need coffee. I'm gonna have to dip into Dr. Nash's secret stash. So, my current new obsession, we were on the theme of coffee in the office last time, is this chocolate caramel brownie, which I totally stole from Dr. Nash's stash. It's delicious. It's highly delicious. And then I mix it with this, the chocolate stevia drops. Oh my gosh. Creamer who? Creamer what? You don't need anything in this coffee. I'm drinking straight black coffee and it tastes like I went to Starbucks. It is delicious and my new obsession. So we need to buy more boxes, Dr. Nash, because I'm about to go through them all. Hey Taryn.
What?
You know that patient we were just talking about?
Yes.
So she sent in her food logs today and she followed the plan to a T, even while camping, and lost 8 pounds in 7 days.
What?
Isn't it phenomenal? You follow the plan, you lose weight. Who would have known that was such a concept?
What a miracle.
Hi.
So tell me how you like that one compared to the crap we had yesterday.
Delicious.
Better?
Now what do you put in here besides?
Like honestly, do you like it?
No, I do.
Okay. 15 grams of coconut oil,
Oh, that's right. Coconut oil. That's what I'm forgetting.
15 grams of butter, and then I melt it. It's 12 ounces of coffee, but I will take about 4 ounces and put it in the Pyrex mixing because it's not big enough to handle all of the coffee.
Oh, okay.
So I put it in like 4 ounces of coffee, and then I just pulse it on low. When I'm pulsing it, I'm slowly emulsifying it. So you just slowly pour that liquid into the coffee, and it blends it and keeps it blended.
Perfect.
And then I just kind of mix it back and forth. But I will get a bigger Pyrex so that we can put the whole 12 ounces in it. And then the way Be Invincible does it, or the way the Juice Standard does it, is they would also add like another 15 milliliters of cashew cream.
Oh, that's
so you could do heavy cream, and that's why it's such a like a really light, creamy, like a beige color almost.
Yeah, that would be a retrain item because that'd be too technically from that
Right.
category.
Right. So that's your fat serving right there.
Yay!
Yeah.
Alright, here's your bag. Set timer for 19 minutes. Set timer for 19 minutes. Can you please try that again? It says set timer for 19 minutes.
OJ, thank you. I'm gonna show you the effects of under eating. I'm gonna cross off this patient's name. Starting weight was 205. Day 6, we were sick and we didn't eat except for one meal. Look what happened day 7. Back to 205. All of that progress lost just because she didn't eat. This is the effects of under eating. New timer. I got my drops. Timer set for 2 minutes.
Oops.
Stand by. All done. So it's day 3. I'm sorry I didn't film much yesterday. I actually got a really bad migraine and headed home and went straight to bed, and then I woke up to eat dinner because I don't skip meals, and then I went back to bed. I lost another pound this morning. It seems to be the ongoing trend, and I'm completely okay with a pound a day, which means now I'm officially down 1 pound on reduce. So lesson learned, it took me 2 days to lose those 2 pounds that I gained on retrain. Not a big deal to have a successful rest of my, 28 days on reduce. So again, we've learned, I'm not going to put it in your brains anymore. You should already know. Plan for the day is work, and I brought 3 meals today. I also brought Taryn a meal and a lunch today, and it's just going to be an overall good day. Hopefully there'll be some opportunities to show you guys some things, so stay tuned.
Let's go!